disruptive student in your class? Let's start with you, Burcu. Let's start with a young learner approach.
Okay, first, I prefer to talk to the student privately and discuss the situation instead of talking to him in front of his friends. And I try to understand the reason why he behaves badly. If the student still cannot control himself, no matter what I do, I would work with the counselor and contact the parents. And counselors at our school usually prepare behavior charts which work well with some students, with some children. Yeah.
I agree, or I join Burcu on that, which is that I think that there is a whole, what I want to say, range of disruptive behavior that certain go with different ages, that there again, when you get with adults, you're looking at disruptive behavior that you can't just say, don't do that anymore a lot of the time, because the disruptive behavior is people who challenge your authority, is people who want to know what's in this for me. It's, I want to give all the answers and don't let my other colleagues speak and things like that, and for each one, or who never say anything, or who still believe that if you just talk to them long enough, they're going to learn how to talk. Okay? So, and each one takes kind of a settled set of probably working over several sessions on different techniques to work with. I always look for solutions that come out of and with the group rather than simply saying, well, this is no good, this won't go anymore. With the idea, and sometimes it's a sit-down session, sometimes when a group, when you feel it's not going well, you're not reaching your goals together, you're not working together, it is worthwhile to take the time out and say, okay, I feel like this is maybe not going as well as it could here. And try to find out, is it that your approach to the subject matter, that you're missing an essential point for them, realizing that it's for them we're doing all this rather than ourselves normally. Are there sometimes it can be a question of problems within the group and they need to work them out, and your job will be that of being mediator in the situation.
Yeah, I've heard some novel stories in my time about teachers' techniques. Some of them seem to be out of the FBI school of Bethany's. We had one who actually, well, he was, to be fair, he believed in choice. And they could choose to either do press-ups or stand against the wall with a rubber on their nose and balancing the... I've never tried this, but as you can imagine, it got a few complaints from the parents, whose children developed fantastic biceps, but not much English. My favourite was the teacher, this is a true story, who stapled a kid to a chair. Yeah, no, not their skin. They didn't staple. It was a wooden chair, apparently, and stapled an item of the kid's clothing to the chair, which is experimental to say the least, isn't it? But, however, you know what I'm going to say about this? I'm going to think, well, hang on, why is he stapling the kid to the chair? Probably because the kid's running around. This is the gesture, isn't it? And he's not sitting down. So why isn't the kid, so now I'm starting to think this class is maybe not catering for kinesthetic learners enough, or at least that's a worthwhile reflection, I think. I'm not saying that's always the solution. And an interesting thing is that I've noticed in this conversation, once we still talk about bad behaviour, we use the masculine pronoun to describe the students. Everyone has said he. I would sit him down, I would talk to him. If he did this, I would throw him out, assuming that... Presumably there's no smoke without fire, and this is actually true. And a part of me thinks that in some way the way we're teaching isn't catering to males, basically, especially young ones, who find it very, very difficult to sit down for an hour and listen to someone. Well, it's not just kids, it's actually adult males even find that difficult, and there may be a gender difference there, and it may be that our education system has kind of girlified things to the extent that we are excluding quite a few people, let's say. I'll leave it there because...
Yeah, Duncan. Bethany, can we have a female perspective then?
Actually, no, I have to say again, with higher education, I'm very tough. Though at the same time, I'm more of a 3 strikes and you're out kind of teacher, because I love baseball. My students know I absolutely adore it, and I use it as a teaching tool in the classroom. So they know the term 3 strikes and you're out. If I have a disruptive student and she is, for example, talking a lot, she's all chit-chat, 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 and it's really, really disruptive, and she and she is, in fact, interrupting what other students are doing after 3 reminders, which for some may be too many, in fact, but for me, that's what I'm comfortable with, okay? I tried, first time, goodbye, and it felt horrible. I felt like a horrible person, so I realized, no, not going to be able to do that. I tried it, but the second time, second reminder, you're out, goodbye, and it still felt really, really bad. So I decided 3 strikes and you're out, and that's what I'm comfortable with. It may be different for the rest of you. And again, I ask them to leave very politely. I say, obviously, you cannot concentrate. I understand that. We're all professionals here, so I would ask you to leave right now. And I wait, and I stand there. I do, and poker face, and I stand in front of the student, and I wait. And they don't believe me, of course, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and everybody's silent behind me. And then so, of course, they complain, and they become a little more disruptive. Now, I do have an extra special solution. Those who refuse to leave, I say, look, if they really do refuse to leave, they say, no, I'll be good. I go, no, you need some time out. You can come back during the break, maybe, if you like. We can talk. But if I have a student who, and she is really violently refusing to leave, then I will just quietly say, all right, look, if you don't leave, I will. and I've never, fortunately, it's never come to that. But I know, it's sort of like when you're negotiating contracts with businesses, you always know what your last term is going to be, your last resort, and that's going to be my last resort. I know it's there. I hope I won't have to go there, but I might someday, and I'm ready for it.
And she never calls your bluff?
Never.
Amazing. Yes, lady there.
If she had called your bluff, okay, would you leave alone or with other students to another classroom?
I would cancel the class. I would cancel the class and march right up to the director of studies and say, I need you to know that this has just happened, and I have canceled my class because of this student. And if this continues without your help, we're going to have some grave consequences. Okay, because the other students can't learn with her behavior. And I will say, there are 25 students, 24 of them want to be there, and they're learning, but they can't learn because of her.
So they can use their energy. Would that be true or not?
This is something I like in young learners' classroom, moving around, doing things physical. I don't like young learners to sit still for a long time, and it's not something I like in young learners' classrooms. But it depends on the part of the day. If they're back from a PE lesson, I do a settler activity instead of letting them move around. It depends on the part of the day and my lesson plan, what I want to do with them, what they need to do, their mood. A lot of parents walk in the corridor, especially to pick up their kids. Some teachers, especially some class teachers, think that, oh no, students should be quiet. The parents are walking around. They shouldn't see us walking around. And no, it's not like this for the English classrooms. Noise is good sometimes.
Thank you very much. I remember when I was teaching in Algeria once, the Monsieur le Proviseur came down the corridor and he complained that all the students were talking in the class. And I tried to explain they were learning a language, so it would be helpful if they practiced their English as well as mine.